been a while. How you going? Let's test this out. Got a new layout. So at the moment I am working on getting Prisma. I keep thinking Prismo, which is a database connector or something. I don't know. I'm so far in the reads with this. Basically, I started making this chatbot. Chatbot's such a funny way to put it. It's just so old school. An implementation of Chat GPT that basically, if anyone follows me on Twitter and like enough to like track my arcs, which is like maybe one person, basically it was a way of getting and storing like memory, just because I just wanted to maintain it. So hey Nova, currently except it's a little bit cooked, but yeah, basically it's like a front end for that, and I've been making pretty good progress. I just want to now wrap it up, but by like making the cartridges. So let me see if I can do this. I'll do a quick example. And I actually ended up spending about maybe an hour now setting up a new stream layout, which I won't bring up because you guys can see it because you're in it. But basically it lets me like keep everything on the screen because I feel like that's more reflective of like my experience. I'm trying to capture that feeling of being, you know, hanging out with me, I guess, or like being me. I don't know. I don't mind being me. All right, so yeah, I've been basically, all right, so let's see if I can start this bad boy again. So it's using Vercel, Next.js as a front end with React, all things I had no idea how to do like 6 months ago, and a Python backend to talk to OpenAI. Why Python backend? I have a feeling in my head that like I want to be able to like chain and mix different Python things. So basically it takes these prompts and adds to them. Sam is working on the code for Nova in while streaming is giving an example. Hey Nova, how are you going? So basically like bundles the prompts here and then like runs the chat here so you can like manipulate the prompts, and it's essentially just like in the back end this is what's getting sent up. So it's just a way of like managing that really. I'm a bit sick of it, but I want to make this back end so that I can have it and just get the idea out. So currently where I'm up to is getting the the original version of it was, no, it didn't have a front end, but it was just logging all the code, summarizing it and keeping the summaries in prompts so it could remember things. So that's what I'm trying to do, is get that working. The idea of these as cartridges are like little reusable like chunks of behavior as well as just prompts. There's closest similar thing as LangChain, which I should probably try out. So where I'm up to now is I've got Prismo, and I've got a script called Prisma Connect. So Prisma connects to PlanetScale. PlanetScale is a database. It uses MySQL. I was going to try and keep it to JSON, but like at the end of the day, it's just going to go into a database, and just another language to learn, and it's fine. Okay, so if I go here, I run it. Okay, so this mightn't look like much, but basically what it does is it adds this log, and then it sends it to the database, which is based on this schema, and then it reads the log. So I just made that to test it out. I think I'm going to put basically building the logs out here already. Like if I just had this log, I would obviously just read this log file. But I wrote a script that passes the chat logs, which is where originally I was just, it's so funny, I had no idea about any of this stuff when I started. And so I was just like saving everything as text files, which is fine, like it doesn't matter. But like you can't put that on a database and globally scale it. Like I basically, like what I want to do is if you've got your user ID or whatever, however I'll discern between users, like you've got your own version of your logs and memory tracking and whatever, because I just think it's handy, I guess. So yeah, but it's pretty funny, like PlanetScale database. But be ambitious. Why not? Why not make the killer app for AI? I'm sure I can. Or maybe make something that gets useful enough that it gets bought for heaps of money, and I can just keep streaming and hanging out. Sound off, say hello if you're followed before, or just, popping in. Okay, so yeah, so I would just read this log, but I already wrote this script that passes the chat logs and the summary text and combines them. So I think I'm just going to piggyback off that. And what I want to do is basically just push this all up to the database. So this is stuff that wouldn't be happening in the live app, but it's a good chance to test out like the behaviors that I want. Okay, so let's go. Oh, I've already put some stuff in here. Okay, that's good. That's handy. So I've got Prismo Connecto. So I don't know of these what is critical. I think I could just do this actually. Get Prismo in here. Oh. What's the difference there actually? I'm not sure. I've switched my screen to like long sideways mode. It's pretty good. So I could probably run this from that, but yeah, I'm not gonna. I've been really enjoying just like coding in other languages and in environments that don't have like big visual editors, like Unity, for example. Like, okay, async def main, none, if name, but it does mean that I don't know what's going on a lot of the time, which is fine. All right. Okay, so main is not defined. Okay, so maybe I gotta go like this. But yeah, it means I don't know what's going on some of the time, at least. Okay, still not defined. It's, why is that not in scope? Because this itself isn't a function, maybe. So I think technically I could do this, just not have it be a function. Obviously I wouldn't in a sort of, okay, I guess not. Yeah, okay, doi. So why am I not able to call main? I guess this is still sitting at the end, so it should still run then. So I guess we'll just give it a go. So now, instead of just using this, I should be able to loop through. Basically, this creates a convo dictionary, which is, no, it's not even a dictionary anymore. So just convos. It's like Aussie coding slang, I guess. So a convo object is date, summary, log, convo, but we actually wanted to also include session ID, which many won't have to begin with. So I'll go session ID is ID. I hope this doesn't stitch me up later. But basically, like, I'll have a system that generates like session IDs somehow. Got, what is it? Copilot rockin'. It's pretty handy, like, just finishes stuff for me. Oh, promotions. That's great. Okay. Session ID and then user ID, Sam. So yeah, basically I will need to I'm just going to make this a bit more legible. I'll need to come up with a proper like session and user ID designation system. I've sort of got one in the current system. It creates a unique ID for the log, and then the user ID is what's going to be used to like align all the what am I saying? Align the well, all the logs with a person, but like, how do you protect that? I don't know. You need like a username and password, and I just like don't know if I could be fucked doing that. But you know, one thing at a time is my motto. Okay, cool. So, okay. This now matches the data that this is expecting. And it will reject it if it doesn't. So if I go log, so, okay, so now if I go for convo and convos, oh mate, this fucking thing, that's Chat GPT for sure, or what's it called, Copilot. Like, you know, I think it'd be hard for like a new developer in some ways being like, what, like not understanding that maybe, I don't know, but like it took me a long time to be able to be like, okay, I need to loop this and equal that, blah, blah, blah. But for me, knowing how it works, it's fucking, it's great. Okay, did that work? Okay, so I can't find chat logs. Sorry, I'll stop making these disgusting noises. I'm gonna bring, so this is the scene manager thing. It's pretty cool, I think. I just like stuff that's kind of like automated, and I think if like I was born 100 years ago, I'd be like a cuckoo clock maker. And I sort of am. I like making stuff that sort of one thing leads to another, bing bong bang. Okay. So I'm basically making it so that, yeah, when that expands out, it doesn't, it goes a bit higher as well. Okay. Oh, very nice. Can't find chat logs. What does that mean? Oh. Python log to json.py Prismo. Okay. Yeah, so I got the same issue. So it's creating that combined JSON log here. That's what we're seeing. But Prismo is rejecting it. That's okay. Fuck, I could do this shit forever. So that means that I haven't matched the, because this worked. Oh, it needs to be body? Yeah, it needs to be body. Body, summary, date, user ID, session ID. And that is enforced by this schema. It's pretty cool. I didn't, yeah, a lot of this stuff was like a bit of over my head until quite recently. And you know, there's still a lot I could learn, obviously. Have int want string. Ah, okay, yeah, okay, sure. Session ID to string Python blah blah blah. Oh, it's just to string. Okay, yeah, cool. Well, aren't I a special little duck? Or is it the other way around? Oh. Okay, incorrect. So maybe to string is something else. Oh, baby. Okay, so what I've now done is requested the table remotely, and that table should hopefully have every log. Yeah, there we go. All X number of logs. Boo. All right, that's great. So, all right. Oh, okie dokie. Now, in that case, now we can go. Cool. So we have our stuff in a table. I was like checking to see if it was working. And it didn't show any. Oh, here we go. But I don't see the records. Like I don't see the data. But then the yeah, but then I was able to pull it back from it. So I don't know. Maybe it's here. And then I've got to push the DB. You know what? I reckon I got to push the DB. All right. Here we go. All right. So now if I go Prisma DB push. That's already in sync. Okay. Well, something's going on. Okay, cool. So now I should be able to go to Nova on run memory is you know, I'm just gonna put everything in one fucking code. Who cares about fucking having things in different project and files? Doesn't matter. I can do it later. Like, I've definitely spent a lot of time over engineering things in my life. Okay, def. So let's make this async. Nope, wrong way around. Of course it is. Okay, so run memory. And now if we go Prisma No, what are we looking for? This guy here. We should be able to. Okay, so we should be able to get all the logs basically. So that's how we write them. That's how we get them. Easy peasy. If I try and like keep track of what I'm trying to do in my mind, everything at the same time, I get overwhelmed. So it's just like one step at a time. Okay, so logs equal that. Great, there we go. Oh shit, yeah, I can just get rid of all this. I use the same term. That's handy. No. So, okay, so what's happening here? Firstly, I'm not instantiating a Prismo. So let's do that. It's not called Prismo, by the way. I don't want to confuse anyone. Yabba dabba doo. So, okay, so yeah, I assume you should connect and disconnect. Say hello if you're popping in and you've seen my work. You're probably wondering why I'm doing this instead of making a video game. Basically, I want to make a sort of like assistant, like creative partner to work with on the game, like give me ideas and bounce shit off. And it's obviously also just like a technical challenge and experiment. Obviously took way longer than I expected, of course. So yeah, making Nova. Key thing is right now giving memory so that it can bring back parts of the conversation and things like that. Okay, so I'm not sure if you should be connecting and disconnecting every time, but let's just do that for now. I basically want to give them like little functions that they can run, or I can run, whatever, as as a way of like swapping in and out functionality without taking up too much of the prompt. Okay, so this should now go through and print each log, but pulled from the database when I load the page. Whereas before I was just running that as a Python thing. Basically I was doing everything with JSON, but Vercel is Vercel serverless functions. You can't like store and read files in the way that I was hoping. So now I've just piggybacked this to getting the prompts. Which technically, yeah, because this memory is going to be a cartridge, is like my term for the bundle of functions. So it would load the cartridges, and one of those cartridges, if it was a function, would then run the function. So it's kind of accurate. Hang on, I better. Oh no, wrong thing. I'm getting hungry. Okay, so run memory was never awaited. So I guess I'm triggering the coroutine incorrectly. Logs to JSON. asyncio.run. I don't know what this means. I don't know if I'm like, okay. Well, it recognizes it there, so I don't know what is different. Yeah, like, Python's so dense, it doesn't have any of the like punctuation basically, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, that's interesting. Here we go. So, printing log from database, da 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 da. Okay, so now what we can do is can I read these as like chunks? Like, okay, so if the log is, it's pretty cool though. ID, user, summary. So what I'll be able to do, because I broke the prompt out. Here we go. Yeah. All right. So this is like chat prompt, and then get the response. And so yeah, this builds the prompt out of the chat and then runs the response, right? So I want to split that out into its own thing. It should be pretty easy. Like, but for now I might just use this because it's already pretty abstracted. I don't want to like redo this too much now. It's probably the one thing I've learned a lot of lately is just don't constantly be refactoring stuff, because you cook stuff, then you find out you don't need it, blah, blah, blah. So, okay, so for all these logs, so this gets all the logs into the local memory, which honestly is probably not needed, but whatever. And then for each one of them, okay, so if log dot, log summary. If log summary equals null, then okay, yeah, so I reckon def get summary. Okay, so I'm actually gonna put all this stuff down here. Def get summary. And then the input would be text to summarize. So So you can imagine here, like basically making the different things that you would do with Chat GPT, like abstracted enough that, you know, you can do multiple together, sync them together, and then make a little interface. And I want to do it like as little cartridges out of the side of a little gizmo because I feel like it, and it'll be fun. Can't you tell how much fun I'm having? Okay, so then what? I'm gonna refactor this, fuck. It's happening. It's, yeah, I always say don't do that, and then I just do it anyway. So, and I don't always say that. I say it sometimes to sound smart. F2 construct chat prompt. So that changes everything there. So now I can go what can I do now? So that's like, in a sense, it's its own cartridge, not to go on about the cartridges. Okay, now I can say def send prompt, right? And I can use this, and it just takes the string. It'll get however, and then what'll happen? It'll return response. So it should be able to go like, because is this async? It is, I'm pretty sure. Send a prompt. Response equals send prompt string. Okay, I think this will work. Hopefully it doesn't cook it in some other way. This we'll find out. So this I would put up here, not that it matters that much, but I don't think. I'm just gonna turn that off for now, don't need it. Turn you off, don't need you. Construct chat prompt. Run memory, okay, so get summary is, can then say, prompt equals okay, summarize this text as succinctly as possible to retain as much information that Chat GPT can use to reference a conversation. So this is an example where this itself will be built into the cartridge as something that you can modify as well. Okay. Yep, thank you. What are you called? And then I should be able to go like this. And then this will also return that. So I should be able to go for each what the fuck is this shit? I don't know, this is good. Okay, so if log summary is not is blank, no summary adding to logs. Then log, yeah, because we're cycling through each log, so I don't think I need to be like using the user ID and stuff. I don't, cause get summary, get log, body. Okay, so, okay, that should, for each one, go and get the log basically. And then summarize it. So this is actually the first thing where it'll be interfacing with Chat GPT in the backend, which is kind of cool. So if there's any that haven't, it should only be at any given stage 1 because, but you might be chatting a bunch without using this. Basically, whenever you turn this on, it's going to find any conversations that haven't been summarized, but the conversation saving side is going to be continual. Fuck, this is great. I love it. So then I want to send that summary back up to Prismo, which I don't know how to do yet, but we'll see. Where ID equals, okay, so, and I'll be able to go log equals await prisma dot log dot update. What do you got for me? Where ID equals log ID. Yeah, go on, go on. Spot on. Good job, Copilot. I'm pretty sure that'll push and update that. So it's going to go through getting no summary, getting summary from Chat GPT, no, not Chat GPT, OpenAI, DaVinci technically, print, yep. Should be interesting. This is going to send like okay. access row Python SQL. So maybe it's got to get turned into convert SQL table to Python list, basically. Okay, so that's basically what I'm doing here. And it's returning it. What does Prisma return? Python. Get type Python. Is this just a string? Print type X. Okay, so let's go print type log. And then just return for now. Don't give me a shit. Class prisma.models.log. All right, well, what does that mean? So .log, so it's here. How do I? Access Prisma models class.